Hello and welcome to the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Garay. Today I have a guest with me who has a really cool product that's going to cost you as a loan originator absolutely nothing, but give you tons of value. So how's that to open this thing up? Cost you nothing, gives you tons of value. I love it. Let's get started here at the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. Hi, Frank Garay here. Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast is brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. Of course, absolutely free. I encourage you to go see all of our podcasts or hear all of our podcasts or find them, however you want to say it, at mortgageloanofficerpodcast.com. I take that back. It's Loan Officer Podcast Network, loanofficerpodcastnetwork.com. I was thinking of my own, Garrett. That's what I was thinking. Just send them to my podcast. That would be the right thing. But no, I want you to see them all. It's loanofficerpodcastnetwork.com. So go check them out there. Today I've got with me Garrett Kranz, right? Is that how you say your last name? Kranz?
Well, it used to be
Kranz?
back in the day, but Kranz has taken over.
Kranz. Okay. Garrett Kranz. And Garrett, are you the CEO of this product, or are you the developer, creator? What are you of this product?
Yeah, I'm the VP of Business Development.
Okay.
And sales. So I run that division. There was I can't take all the credit. I got our founder, who's the 30,000 foot view guy. He writes stuff on a napkin and lets it go, and he has wonderful ideas all the time. And then I get involved and I start the talking, and we figure out what we got.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well, you got something really cool. And what we've got here, guys, is something called Relocator. And the way you access it is relocator.net. Relocator.net. So if you're listening to us on iTunes or something like that, you're just going to have to remember this, relocator.net. Go there. And if you're a loan originator, you can get signed up for absolutely free. In fact, you're going to fill out an input form, basically, and you're going to get a demo either through Garrett or somebody else at the office who'll walk you through the product so you understand exactly what it is. But we're going to go through it in detail here. So that's how you would access this product. Again, this is absolutely free for an originator. And it provides a lot of value. So in a nutshell, Garrett, just give me the big, the 30,000 foot view, as you would say. What is it? How does it help me as an originator? What do I do with this thing? How does it help me?
So what we do is we brand you throughout the entire process. And what it does is it really simplifies the move for that client. It handles everything they have to address when they move. And it's in a one-stop shop scenario. So all that, I don't want to, I'll say it anyways, all the minutia, the crap they have to deal with when they're moving, making all those phone calls, spending all the time on the phone, we put it into a one-stop shop. It takes care of everything. And it's a best case pricing scenario. So you can't lose.
So essentially what this is, and I've had the pleasure of seeing it a few times now, guys, just so you know, it's really cool because it's essentially a moving checklist, if you will, right? So, and it goes out, I think, 6 weeks, something like that. So you can start engaging with this product as somebody who's moving, who's selling their home or buying a home and moving, selling their home and moving. And it doesn't matter if they're moving across town or out of state, it all applies, right? But they can start this process where they're just going to be led through the moving process, making sure that they're checking all the boxes to make sure everything gets done along the way, which is what anybody does anyway. If somebody's moving, if they don't have your product, Garrett, right, they've got their yellow pad and they're trying to think of everything that they can think of, like, oh, I got to call the garbage and water. I got to call the gas and electric company. I got to call Comcast or the cable company or the internet. They're thinking of all these things that they have to do. And inevitably, a lot of things get forgotten, right? Things get like, oh, I forgot to do that or forgot to do this. But what you guys have done is put it together in a web format that just walks them through, but it goes even further than that. Tell me about that. It goes further than just checking a box. It actually connects them to their local internet provider, let's say, or gas and electric company, right?
Yeah. There's 50 different things they can choose on here. You touched on the moving checklist. I mean, that's just one portion, right? It's 125 plus line items that lets you know of everything you can't remember. Right. So they don't have to go find it and try and download an Excel sheet from online. But it does. It brings you right into your local providers, and it's all based on address. So it brings you right to who that internet TV provider is, who's their waste and recycling. And it's all right down to the bone. And it's all based on national and local providers. And it's to address, so they don't miss a beat. It's all there in front of them. And it just gives them their best pricing option. It's at published pricing or better, like I explained several times. So they can spend 3 weeks worth of research. And we asked them to do that. Please go out and find out what you got. And they come back, and every time we either have that exact same pricing or we're better than that. And we do everything that they need, whether it's movers, moving trucks, labor, dumpsters, bins, duct cleaning, cart cleaning, and I mean, transfer utilities like you spoke about.
Storage.
Storage, offsite.
Yeah.
I mean, short term, midterm, long term. You want pods? We got 10% off nationwide. I mean, it goes on and on of everything they can do it.
And so this actually works too, guys. Just so you know, like, let's say I'm selling my house here in Vacaville. Well, I'm just moving across town in Vacaville, so I'm going to have the same providers. I'm going to have, my internet is Xfinity, right? PG&E is my gas and electric company. I'm just changing my address, but it facilitates a transfer as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. We can. Yeah. You can set up brand new, or you can transfer from your current provider. And not only that, when you're transferring, we can still get you the best price from that exact same provider. So we had somebody who saved $30 a month who went out and shopped for their Spectrum deal, and we were $30 cheaper on the exact same Spectrum deal because we get the national contracts.
That's awesome.
Bulk, so.
And then obviously this is huge if I'm moving from one city to the next, one county to the next, one state to the next, because at that point they may be completely different providers. For example, here I'm in Vacaville, California. I'm not that far from Sacramento, but here in Vacaville, I have Pacific Gas and Electric. Up in Sacramento, they have SMUD, right? So the completely different. It's not that far away, but it's a completely different provider. So really, really handy in that respect, as far as if you're not just moving across town, but you're moving, a little bit a ways. If your buyers are moving, it's nice because everything's there. It's really neat. I know most of you are listening to this audibly, and we're not really showing it visually here because this podcast is typically an audio podcast. But if you're watching us on YouTube, perhaps you could bring this up real quick if you wanted to, Garrett, and just really briefly at least show us how to get to the site and get logged in or create an account, something along those lines. And I want you to bring up the fact that you guys are, if one of our buyers that we hand this off to makes use of this, they wind up getting a prize or a gift as well. Let them know about that. And then we're going to get into the actual branding aspect of this. This is not just someplace you send your people, guys. You get an account. It's all branded to you. You have your own link, if you will, or your own account that you would put your buyers into that they access. And now it's all branded to you. So it's your thing that you're giving away. You're not just sending them to some website saying, hey, this is a good deal. Check it out. So walk us through. We're showing it right now. For those of you who can't see it, we're at the homepage, or we're at relocator.net. And for us to get started, I see, how do we do that?
So like you mentioned before, so if you go into relocator.net, it'll ask you to log in, right? You want to look for information, you're interested in the product. From there, you'll put in your info. It will kick back to us at that point. I'll be me or one of the founders will get on the phone with you and make sure that we walk you through the exact process.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, you talked about, moving across the city or across the street and having different providers. It's actually across the street sometimes with utilities. So you could literally have my neighbor could have a different provider than I have. There's actually a hard cut.
Yeah, exactly.
On the street.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we have a lot of that geo mapped out, worst case scenario, we'll tell you who they are. So at least you know where to go, because sometimes it's regulated versus deregulated. Depends how much we can get involved in that scenario.
Yeah. Depending on the area. Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, just get in, ask for the information. We'll be in contact. And with you, it's a basic info. We want to make sure that we get your branding up there, because we want to make sure your face is in front of that client 24/7, right? This runs 365 days a year. They put their kids to bed at 11. They finally got their glass of wine. Like, good Lord, I got to move in 10 days. I better get my tail end in gear here and get something done. And then they can go on and start doing the research. You see all the tabs here. Like you said, this is kind of audio, but literally the first thing we ask them, once you get on there, we ask the client, just make sure that you just have them get a hold of us, schedule a call. It's the simplest thing they can do it. And we'll literally hold their hand. If they want, they can do a lot of the DIYers of the world, right?
Yeah.
The Amazon effect, the 80% of people want to be able to do everything without speaking to anybody. Well, you're not buying a hair clip anymore on Amazon. You're actually getting a mover, right?
Yeah.
You actually want to make sure these utilities are showing up. You want to make sure when you're moving ready.
Right.
You just got a new job. You have to have your internet and TV. Mega important. You want to make sure the last thing, if any of you have kids out there, you know what happens if the internet goes out or you don't have it. Good Lord.
The world comes to an end. Yeah.
Right?
The world explodes. Yeah. So, so what's cool about this is basically, like, hey, I'm a loan officer. I sign up for it. I get my own account. It's branded to me. Now I can input buyers that I have. I can say, hey, I've got this really cool, and I could call it a concierge service, right? That will help you move and make the move and help you get all set up at the new place. And it actually comes with a phone call. So the buyer gets in and they actually, so it's the buyer that's actually calling you guys and having like a consultation on this move, correct?
The buyers, no, say that again. I'm kind of
The people that are moving.
Yeah, so the people are moving. They're the ones who will call us to get set up. We want
that's
them to
what I mean.
get on. It's a Calendly invite, right? We ask for the basic info. Once the loan officer, agent, whoever puts in that client information, we immediately send out an email back to that agent, to that LO, saying, hey, congratulations, Frank. I see that Garrett's moving here in 28 days. Now's a good time to remind them that we're going to simplify their move. We're going to reduce the heck out of their stress. We're going to keep them organized. We're going to cut down their phone calls by over 5 hours, by over 25 phone calls if they want. And then we remind you. And then 24 hours later, we'll reach out to that client. We'll send them a welcome invite that's branded to you again, saying, hey, as part of this free service, go ahead and set up a call, get the internet and TV going. With this, you also get a free security doorbell camera with every single move.
Nice.
No purchase necessary. It's
nice.
there. But it works off internet and TV, right? So I had it set up myself. I didn't tell them I worked here because I wanted to see how the process works. So somebody comes to my door, I'm on the phone and I can talk to them. It's I didn't think it would be such a great thing, but it is, right? It's turned out to be a godsend. I can set up in my office and talk to whoever's at the door. So it's pretty slick, and that's free. That's free for them to use. So they get it with every single move.
That is awesome. Let me ask you this, because some originators might be thinking, hey man, what about a team? I'm a branch manager. Can I get an account here and put all my guys inside of it so they have their own accounts? Is that possible?
100%. And as the branch manager, even if they want, they can use that information. They can oversee every LO that's underneath them to see what clients are doing. So they can go into grave detail, and I'll touch on it real quick. They can see it's interactive. Everything we have is interactive by the client. It's also interactive by the LO. So the LO agent gets their own portal. And from there, they can see how many clients engaged in the last 90 days, 30 days, 14 days, whatever they choose to see. They can also see how many were invited, and they can see what they're doing. So they can see the services that they booked. And by that, you can actually see the users that booked them. They can view the users and they can see what they booked. We have a group here in the Twin Cities that's with MMA. Sean Higgins, it's his group with cross country, and they use it as a soft touch Tuesday. So they'll use this.
I was just going to say this. Yeah, go into this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on Tuesdays, he calls his new buyers, people that are looking to get their application through. Hey, I see that you're moving, or you got it set up. Hey, did Relocator reach out to you? I want to make sure that's going well. It's their soft touch, right? God, that's great. You got your internet TV. Hey, do you want that free security doorbell camera? I want to make sure they got that over to you. It's in the process. Great. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to need your last 2 months worth of pay stubs because the interest rates just went up 0.75% yesterday, right? So they kind of use it as their soft touch. Hey, let's do the happy-go-lucky dance. But at the same point, they still need to get to the bottom of their business.
Sure. I mean, you can use this as a soft touch in any way you want. I mean, you're watching them progress along. Well, the way I see this too is oftentimes as an originator or a real estate agent, once the deal is closed, it's kind of forgotten about for a while after that, right? It's just kind of forgotten about. But with this, you can kind of peek inside and see if how they're progressing along on this move and the services that they're reaching out to and stuff like that. And you could just reach out to them maybe a week after it's closed or 2 weeks after it's closed and say something like, hey, I see you got your stuff all taken care of. I just want to make sure everything went smooth for you, right? Something like that, just to engage with them one more time or 2 more times after it's closed, kind of shortly thereafter it's closed. And always to say, hey, well, don't forget, man, if you have any family, friends, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refi, I'd love to work with them. Can I count on you to send them my way? It's another reason to call because you can see what's going on inside. Let me ask you this. So we talked about teams, and I know originators are already thinking this right now. Can I co-brand with an agent? And you had some issues with that in the past, but go ahead and tell us about that.
Yeah, so we did that originally. Immediately we said, okay, here's the mortgage group and here's the real estate group. And we thought it was, kosher. Well, what we're finding out is that the LOs weren't actually talking to their agents and getting their sign off, because we had agents come back saying, hey, my client saw this, they're using my likeness. And for doing that, well, I think I'm going to turn around and sue you because we didn't sign off on anything. So we are recreating the wheel and that program because we know we can do it. But we're just going to have to create a DocuSign portion, which we have our own proprietary one that we have within here. to get to where the LO makes sure that the agent signs off, right? We just need to
Right.
make sure that everybody's above board, and that way we don't go down that path, right? We're
And the,
only here to help. We're not taking anybody's money, to get this thing done. It's free to the LO, it's free to the agent, it's free for the client to use this service. And we only get paid when a client goes ahead and signs up with a contract. At that point, the third-party service providers will cut us a small portion of whatever that was. It was a mover versus internet, the trucks, dumpsters, it doesn't matter.
It's a really great idea. It's a really great idea. The loan officer doesn't have to pay a penny, and or realtor doesn't have to pay a penny. The person that's moving, right? We say the buyer who's moving doesn't have to pay a penny, right? If anything, is going to get everything either at the best price or cheaper than they can see it advertised anywhere for the services that they're going to need when they move in. You guys get paid a little smidge off of the deal of the provider. So whoop-de-doo, it's not costing the buyer or the consumer anymore at all. If anything, they're saving money. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's really, really cool. So the best way for our guys to engage with this and get set up is just simply to go to relocator.net. Relocator, CATOR.net, not .com, .net, guys. And you can go there, you can get signed up, and you can start offering this to all your buyers. I mean, I would start offering it right away. We start getting into contract and we're moving forward and we're processing a loan, right? Then, I would be saying, hey, you're going to be going through a move. I'm going to get you set up with my guys over at Relocator. They're just going to help you with that process all the way through. I'm going to sign you up. They're going to reach out to you. They're going to give you a call and start walking you through the process. So when you make the move, it's going to be as smooth as possible. That's what I would do. And it's brilliant. It's great stuff, man. Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah. And another thing that's very important for everybody to know, we do not sell any of the client information to third parties. The third parties don't even know what they're quoting or who they're quoting on, I should say. They know exactly what. They don't know who they're quoting on until that client says, yes, I agree to this. Otherwise, we're their only point of contact. And we actually do a lot of the things for them without them having to speak to anybody else. But otherwise, so our moving situation, I'll go into this quick. So we use a brokerage, and the reason we use this is because it saves money. They're bonded, licensed, and insured, and they work on 280 metro areas throughout the United States. They've been in the business for over 30 years. So when that person's moving, it takes an area to an area, and they'll get up to 10 blind quotes based on, hey, I had 25 small boxes, I have 15 large, 3 dressers, 2 beds, and a panel. Those movers go ahead and quote on that. Every mover is bonded, licensed, and insured. They do not deposit the money or take the money into account until 48 hours prior to the move. Anytime before that, that client can cancel the move, because as we all know, we all want things to close on time. They don't always do that.
Yeah, things happen.
Yep, and the moving brokerage company will not pay out the moving company until that client is satisfied. They need to make sure everything went as smooth as possible. Everybody agrees to the transaction. Okay, now we're good.
Got you.
So, yeah, I mean, I hear horror stories all the time. Somebody lost 20 grand about a month and a half ago moving from Florida to Virginia from some group they found online, some cheap group. They were not bonded, licensed, and insured. They went to 3 different lawyers, and every lawyer said, you're now chasing good money after bad money. Yeah. You're done. There's nothing you can do here. You chose the wrong situation. And that's what we help protect against. We make sure we're working with the largest national providers. We also have local. We also have the ability. So as you mentioned, like a branch manager, and they got LOs. If they have a preferred vendor list, we can actually create a tile within their own platform that goes to their clients where they can click on that vendor list and they can use the people that they like.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, I didn't know about this. So back up the truck. Okay, stop. Yep. Okay, so now I can go out and let's say, for example, when you get in a new place, I really recommend maybe considering getting pest services done regularly. Have somebody come out like Clark maybe once a month and just make sure everything looks good. It's a cool service. And so then I could go to my local pest guy who I'm pals with, right, who provides that service, and say, listen, man, I'm going to get you on a tile on my Relocator account. Okay. And so you're going to be getting business from me through this thing. Okay. So for that, just want you to really keep me in mind when you have family, friends, and coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refi. Get my point, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I dig this, man, because now there's other services that we can put in that are local, custom to us, where we can, start to develop relationships with those vendors in an effort to do what? Hey, I'm scratching your back, you scratch mine. That's brilliant. I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'll keep coming up with new stuff every other time. How about that? No, but yeah. So a lot of people have MSAs in place, right? Whether it's a marketing service or a master service agreement where they got these people, and some people are paying to advertise on them, saying, hey, I'm going to show you another value add that I'm bringing to the table. Now I'm going to bring it to the client. Not only are you, branded 7 different times on average as the client gets on to see your face, and they come back. We have clients that come back here over 4 years later to go look at stuff. They can go reshop their internet and TV. Not only do that, but I'm gonna add in my pest control guy. I'm gonna add in my roofing guy. I'm gonna
pool
add
service guy.
Right.
Pool service guy. Yeah, whatever it happens to be. Carpet cleaning guy.
Yeah. Now you're creating this whole network of people that are knowing you got their back, and guess what? That turns around and helps you as well.
Bro.
Scratch each other's. So yes, that's one thing I have not mentioned yet. But yes, that is out there and that is an option.
That just changed everything for me. This becomes quite a cool. I used to do what I called a B2B marketing, where I would work with local businesses and create coupons that they would, hey, give me a coupon 10% off, or a window tinter guy. Hey, get 3 windows tinted, get the 4th one free, something like that. I would work with the business owner, and then I would create these coupons and send it to my past client database saying, hey, if you need a window tinted, buy 3, get 1 free from my buddy over here, at Bob's Window Tinting. And so they would use those coupons, but my relationship was with Bob, who owned Bob's Window Tinting, right? And so I was helping Bob, but I would always check in with Bob every month and say, hey man, just checking to see if there's anybody that needs my help. And man, I did great with that strategy. I got a lot of business out of local business owners. Me and my daughter worked and got 62 local business owners to work with us over the period of about 60 days. And I had a notable amount of transactions that would come in from working my B2B strategy. I could see that applying to this big time, because we can put our vendors in there, because you've even got local community, right?
Yep. 100%. It's all based on address. So they're not going to find somebody. I mean, it may be a national provider, but they service that area, right? They're not going to get Miami's window tinting in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Oh man, good stuff. All for free for the loan originator. All for free. Helps your buyers who are moving, right? Just fantastic value add. Relocator.net. Garrett, thanks so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. This is really, really cool stuff. Guys, go to Relocator.net. If you're watching or listening to us on the Mortgage Marketing Animals Loan Officer Podcast Network, there will be a link down below. If you're listening to it anywhere where we have the ability to put a link down below, it'll be there. Okay. But if you're listening to us where you don't have access, you're in your car, you're listening to iTunes or whatever the case may be, Relocator.net. Don't forget, go there, get signed up as an originator or a real estate agent, right? If you happen to be a real estate agent listening. But for our audience, this is the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. So for loan originators, go there. Thanks so much, Garrett. Appreciate you being here and talking about this.
Yeah, not a problem. It's always great to get the message out and let them know what we're doing, and it only helps us as well. So in the chat too, just in case it's being recorded, I threw in my name and link information, contact, phone number. They can call me and harass me, and I'll get them squared away. We'll get them all worked out.
We'll make sure that's in the down below on whatever format you're hearing this on, or maybe even watching it on if you're on YouTube. All of Garrett's contact info will be there, and being able to access relocator.net, the links will be there. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Garrett, thanks so much. Really appreciate being here and sharing it. It's a great little gadget, man. Free. Nothing's better than free. And there is quite a bit of value in this. And I would like to remind all of our listeners as well, guys, if you have not engaged with the Mortgage Marketing Animals up at the main office and gotten what we call a strategy call, where we can go through what we call our daily success plan with you. If you're looking for a plan, if you don't have a plan, you think the plan you have isn't working properly, we have the ultimate plan. The plan is designed for this market and really every market. It doesn't really matter. This plan is the plan to focus on. You just go to dailysuccessplan.com. That's dailysuccessplan.com. Absolutely free. Hang out with our office. Let us show you what to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to ensure that you're continually growing your business, building lots of referral partners in the real estate community. It's just a wonderful, wonderful plan that absolutely works every time. There are originators that have built entire businesses off of this plan because it just works. It's the right thing to do always in any market. So go to dailysuccessplan.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And we'll be here next week on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. We'll see you then. Adios.
Thank you, Frank. Have a great day, people. you.